Hey there. Well, welcome to my Minecraft world. My name is Bob Irving, and I'm here to talk to you today about something that I've found that's absolutely amazing, and that is coding in Minecraft. And that's kind of my focus in terms of this video. And I'd like to demonstrate this for you. First of all, welcome to the world that I've kind of created here. We'll just do a little bit of kind of an overview, a little bird's eye view, looking around. Whoa, I'm up at the cloud level, okay, and just take a look from my perspective. You can kind of see a little bit of a snowy day today, however. Got some trees there, and the only reason I'm showing you this is actually I'm going to be interacting with the terrain today via code, and this is by way of demonstrating what I do in Minecraft. So just to take you a little bit behind the screen here, everything that I do here pretty much is going to be a result of some coding that I have done. Okay? So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself and what I do. My name is Bob Irving. I'm a computer science teacher here in Charleston at the Porter Gaud School. I teach mainly middle school. And I've discovered an amazing way to introduce kids to coding. And I'm going to demonstrate that here. Just a little bit about me. Been in education for quite some time now. I'm an early adopter. I've always been that tech guy. Love to code, tinker with things. Went back to school, learned coding. And then I discovered robots, and I taught robotics at the Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth for 8 years. Thoroughly enjoyed that, but 3 years ago I discovered Minecraft, and the rest, as they say, is history. It's just amazing what can be done with this, and I'm sure that this is really one of the reasons that Microsoft purchased it, because it is so engaging. So I kind of started, I thought there's got to be some way I can use this in my classes to teach coding. Oh my gosh. So I did a year's worth of research with my students and tried all kinds of different ways. I presented the results at the CSTA in Dallas last summer. And what I settled on for my purposes was a combination of Python, a Raspberry Pi mod called Raspberry Juice, and of course Minecraft. And it's based and inspired by a book called Adventures in Minecraft. Two good buddies of mine in Great Britain named David Whaley and Martin O'Hanlon who came up with this, and all props to them for inventing it and inspiring me and inspiring lots of other people to introduce kids to coding with this. So this is kind of what we're doing here, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff here. So the first thing I want to do here is I would love to build a house here in Minecraft world. Okay? And the way that I'm going to do this, however, is I need some space. If you look around here, it's kind of bumpy, lots of trees that are in the way. And so I'm going to clear some space via code. So I'm going to show you the code. Don't be scared. And it's really just a very small program, 8 lines of code. And you can kind of pretty much ignore this setup stuff up here. But here's how it works, okay? First of all, I'm going to get my position, because I want to build it where I am. And I'm going to put it into a variable called pos. And once I get that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to set blocks. Now, this set blocks command sets a cube of blocks from one x, y, z position to another x, y, z position. Cool thing about Minecraft is it's x, y, and z because it's three-dimensional, which is one of the fascinating things about it. Makes it so much fun to work with. So I'm going to, with this set blocks command, I'm just going to set a huge cube. What am I going to make it out of is always the question. Well, I'm going to make it out of a block or blocks of air. Now I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you think about it, everything in Minecraft world is made of blocks. I'm made out of blocks. The mountains are made out of blocks. The snow is made out of blocks. The trees are made out of blocks. The air is made out of blocks. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say take all of whatever you find in this area that I've set, 50 blocks away from me in 3 directions, and fill it with air. So now you kind of get the idea. I'm going to demonstrate here. I'm going to run the module, and then we're going to go back and watch it happen. Okay, so here we go. I'm back to the game, and if you keep your eyes open, you will see, oh my gosh, look at that, will you? And you were able to kind of see it happen there. Okay, look at that. So remember those trees, those hills, that snow, it's all gone. Okay, and so now I have a nice big space which I can use for building my house. So I think I'm just going to kind of go over here a little ways. This looks like a good spot right about here. Okay, and the next thing I want to do right here is I'm going to build a house. Now, of course, I'm going to build it out of code. By the way, that first demo that I just did there always gets students' attention, and they want to know right away, how did you do that? Because truthfully, if I did that in regular Minecraft, I would be hammering and breaking blocks for a long time, which would be, I find, kind of tedious, and most people do too. So boom, you can do that right away. And we're going to do the same thing now with building a house. We're going to build it in a couple of seconds, and we're going to do it with code. So I'm going to show you the code here. So we've cleared the space, and now it's time to build the house. And this is the program that I usually show them. I've commented it. Thanks again to Martin O'Hanlon and David Whaley for this amazing stuff here. And so basically it's the same kind of thing. We've set a variable for how big we want the house to be. That's the size. We get our position again. We change that to X and Y and Z, and then down here we use a series of set blocks commands. All right. So the first one is going to be for the whole house. All right. 20 by 20 by 20, and we're going to make it out of cobblestone instead of air, which is what we used the last time. Now all that will give us is a huge cobblestone chunk, which is not a good house, and so we carve out the insides of it with blocks of air. Okay, we're going to make a doorway so we can get in, so we carve that out with some blocks of air right there. We're going to put a couple of windows in it and make them out of glass blocks so we'll be able to see them. And then on the roof we're going to put wood, so we'll have a wooden roof, and under our feet a wool red carpet, which is going to look really nice. Okay, so basically that's just a series of set blocks commands. It's going to build the house. It's not too terribly difficult, and I'm going to run it, and then we'll take a look at our handiwork here. Okay, so I'm going to run that module. I'm going to go back to here and look what's here. Okay, whoa, 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 that's about 20 blocks high, and about 20 blocks that way, and if we go around the corner it's probably, yep, it's around 20 blocks that way. And right there is our doorway, which we coded that. So we go in, you can see down at our feet the beautiful red carpet. We look all the way up at the top, there's the wooden ceiling or roof, and I'm getting kind of dizzy here, so let's turn it this way. Okay, there we go. And there are the two glass windows made with code, 15 lines of code. Pretty easy to do. Now, this is the student's first introduction to text-based coding, so I kind of give them that and I say, okay, that's how you build a house. Now, you might want to make yours perhaps a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. You might want to make it out of a different block. Maybe you want to make yours out of, say, glowstone so you can see it at night. That would be cool. Or maybe you want to use, say, mossy cobblestone and give it that castle-y look. Maybe you want to make it out of lava, which is actually a terrible idea, but you know, people want to get creative, they want to do that kind of thing. I understand that. And so they begin to experiment with the code. And the engagement factor is just off the charts, okay? So it's a lot better than doing other ways that I've tried to teach coding, and the students are into it, they create it, it's there in their world, they can see it, they can manipulate it, they don't like it, they can tear it down and build another one. It's so amazing. And so the thing that really impressed me about all of this was, how does this fit in with the Microsoft Innovative Educator program? Well, here's one thing that really occurred to me right off the bat, and that is that you can look at the plans for Microsoft, and you know they're always wanting to get that next generation of coders comfortable with Microsoft products, using them. You've got this new Minecraft modding component in Visual Studio. Well, I can tell you for a fact there's nothing more powerful in engaging young coders than the possibility of modding Minecraft. And so kudos to you, Microsoft, for figuring this out and for purchasing this. And now you have the opportunity to get that next generation of coders hooked. And the one thing I know is you've got to get them young. And the younger you get them, the more they get used to it. You can start with something like Python, and you can move to JavaScript and command blocks, and then up to Java, and you can have the entire ecosystem there for them to work through. And I have discovered in class that you give young people the tools to do this, and they will just jump in it with both feet. Although that, I have to admit, that does look like just kind of one foot there, but that's my blocky feet. So what could I offer Microsoft as a Microsoft Innovative Educator? Well, I work with my students every single day in these classes doing this kind of thing. I'm a passionate educator. I've always been about lifelong learning, and I convey that enthusiasm to my students. And here I am within Minecraft itself talking to you about modding Minecraft. And what better way to do it? I mean, what could I gain from this? Well, I think one thing that I could gain is being able to talk to the people who were actually at Microsoft and working on the next part of Minecraft, what's coming down the pike. So there are probably a lot of people who are going to apply for the program who use Minecraft in other ways, educational ways. There are some amazing things out there, but my expertise is coding, and that's what I'm passionate about. So it's not social studies or physics or math or language, but computer science. And that's where I see this great opportunity for Microsoft to jump in and start training and developing and pulling in and hooking the next generation of coders.